to get my mouse when I was upstairs.
Yeah, right.
You can go ahead, Darla.
Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Planning Advisory Committee to order. I want to welcome our public members, Pam Harvey and Sam Balcom. We're glad you could join us on this nice sunny day. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of April 17th, 2026. Any changes or comments? Seeing none, I approve the minutes of February 17th. First item on the agenda is Plan 25-007, Punta Cana Construction, Porta Cana Construction, initial report, Leanne Martin. And you can begin, Leanne, when you're ready. Just a minute here. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is a new application received from Porta Cana Construction Services Limited, and they have requested to amend the municipal planning strategy and land use bylaw mapping to redesignate and rezone two properties off Lacey Ann Avenue to the townhouse zone and to the medium-density residential neighborhood designation. So the two subject properties are accessed via Lacey Ann Avenue and White Road in Enfield. The two properties total 1.49 hectares in size, 3.68 acres, and they're currently zoned two dwelling unit residential and designated established residential neighborhood. And they are within the South Corridor and Commercial Growth Management Area. One of the properties, PID 453-79864, is a municipally owned property, and the applicant has expressed an interest in purchasing this property from the municipality. And the municipality did deem this property as surplus land in July of 2025 via motion C-25-260. Council has expressed the importance of providing future improved road connectivity and servicing through these lands. And Nova Scotia Public Works did not grant approval for a connection from Lacey Ann through to Highway 2. And the applicant is proposing a public road connection from Lacey Ann to White Road. And the future sale of the municipal property is a decision that is separate from this planning application and will be addressed separately. So to amend the generalized future land use map and land use bylaw to change the designation and zone that are currently zoned 2 dwelling unit residential, the applicant has proposed in order to enable higher density development, including the potential for townhouses and small multiplexes. This is our proposed concept plan that shows both properties and then a proposed municipal road connecting through to White Road back to Lacey Ann Avenue. And their concept plan currently shows cluster and stacked townhouse developments. So this plan is a concept only, and the actual developer may differ. The applicants are not bound to the specific plan, but if the rezoning redesignation is approved, all permitted uses in the townhouse zone would be permitted. And then if approved, they will still have to go through the site plan approval process. And during that time, the actual application would be reviewed, including all parking requirements, setbacks, amenity spaces, driveways, etc. So there is a redesignation and rezoning. Again, if it goes through, all permitted uses within the townhouse zone, which includes on-street townhouses, cluster and stacked townhouses, small multiplexes, and urban cottage developments. And citizen engagement, there will be an advertisement in the Chronicle Herald indicating this is under review, and there is a public information meeting required as part of this process, so we will notify everyone within a 30-meter radius of the property of that meeting if authorized. And we'll continue to review the proposal against all our applicable policies, and the decision of council would not be appealable to the Nova Scotia Regulatory and Appeals Board. And in terms of our process, we are at the initial stage And the recommendation is for authorization for staff to schedule a public information meeting. And the motion, recommended motion is on the screen. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Leanne. Councilor Garden-Cole, you wish to comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay, so I need a little bit of clarification here. To change to medium-density residential neighborhood and to rezone the same lands from 2 dwelling unit residential to townhouse R2T zone. So what is what could be put there? Can we scroll back to the map of,
This one?
yes. So what are the current properties?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the current zoning on the property is R2. The applicant's requesting to go from R2 to R2T, which is our townhouse.
Okay, and there's Curly's down at the bottom, so that's where an apartment,
Sorry, yep.
where an apartment is going right now. What else is happening on that property down at the bottom near Curly's?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it's 3 apartment buildings.
So 3 apartment
On-
buildings
one on
going
each
on that
property.
existing property down below.
The 3 properties, yep.
And then this above is proposed, did they submit this plan or with their input you put this together?
Through you, Mr. Chair, this is submitted by the applicant.
This is submitted by the applicant, so that looks, so what are those pictures of? Are they of attached housing? Are they of small multiplexes?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the purpley color is cluster townhouses and stacked townhouses is the orange.
With the
So they're all
parking lots.
townhouses, yeah.
Okay, and what is the, what's permitted in those, multi-units, multiplexes? 2-story, 8,
Through Mr. Chair, there's small multiplexes, so I believe it's 3 to 8 units per building.
sorry, pardon,
Per building, 3 to 8 units.
38?
3 to 8.
3 to 8 units? Okay. And this hasn't come before us before?
No.
Okay, so the last time we talked about this, it was the prospective, that extra piece of property down below, Lacey Ann. And also, they're proposing to come out White Estates, but it's going to be in a different spot than what the apartments going down in the Curly site are going to be coming out White Estates, onto White Estates Road.
Through Mr. Chair, the proposed road is right here.
And is that going to join up with the road that, the 3 apartments on the main
Yeah,
highway?
Through Mr., it's the same road.
So that road's coming out regardless of whether this gets changed or not? But it's not going to connect to Lacey Ann, is that it?
Currently, it doesn't, but this proposal includes that road connection.
So if this stays as what it is Lacey Ann still going to connect to that road going out to White Estates? Are they still proposing?
If it doesn't go through.
If this isn't approved?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Through Mr. Chair, no, we're not sure.
Okay,
Because it's
okay, thank you.
privately owned.
Do you want to comment, John?
No, I was just going to say, same as Leanne, I don't know what if this application fails, I don't know what their intentions are with the public road.
Okay. Councilor Rhino.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to staff, I'm a little confused. So these 2 properties, which they want rezoned, and we own one?
Through Mr. Chair, that's correct.
So why would we entertain doing a change on our property? Is it, why would we entertain that?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I got to be careful here in terms of in-camera discussion that council's had about that property, but council has publicly declared that property surplus.
Okay.
And the intent that we understand that council bought it, one of the main reasons was to ensure connectivity so that nobody could develop at the end of Lacey Ann without providing that connectivity. Originally, we were hoping it would be to Highway 2, but now to White, which is all NSPW will allow. And beyond that, in terms of the real estate, I guess I defer to Adam to comment on that.
Well, I guess I'm trying to get, what benefit are we gonna get rezoning that land?
In camera, this
Well, if we have to go on camera, I think that the question should be answered.
What is your suggestion, John?
Yeah, I mean, I would say this, that you're going to, through this, the developer is proposing to give you that connectivity that we want, so that was one thing. And beyond that, it's a decision about land use, whether going to R2T is more appropriate than the R2. You know, say, whether the municipality owned it or someone else, doesn't matter. You're still making a decision on that rezoning.
Have we rezoned any of our properties in benefit of somebody else or before that has made an application like this?
Yeah, that's right. Through the plan review, you know, we quite often rezone hundreds of properties.
Through the plan review, but this is not up through the plan
Well,
review.
Or, I mean, and the municipality has sold other properties that then get developed. This one, as I said, is a little bit delicate because, you know, there's no deal in place, but there's an expression from council that it is surplus property. So presumably you want it to go to private hands, and, you know, this neighbor hasn't expressed an interest in the property. If
Well,
it
if it's
becomes
surplus
R2T.
property, we can't really pick and choose who we can, can we? On who we gets this?
Can we,
is one camera.
can
I
we
moved
do
to
it
win
later at the
camera
end
to
of the
discuss
day?
a land issue.
Second.
Moved and seconded, we go in camera. All those in favor? Contrary minded? Okay, we're in camera. Planning Advisory Committee meeting in Canberra to discuss a land issue, and now we're coming back over to Canberra. Councillor Tingley.
Through the chair, I think there's a lot more that we want to learn about this proposed development, but I would propose that we go to the hearing. So I'm going to move that Planning Advisory Committee recommends that council authorize staff to schedule a public information meeting to consider a proposal for PID 4539901 and PID 453-79864 to redesignate and rezone the two properties located at Lacey Ann from established residential neighborhood designation to the medium-density residential neighborhood designation, and to rezone the same lands from the two-dwelling unit R2 zone to the townhouse R2T zone.
So moved in second. Warden, further discussion to the motion?
Just one question. R2T zone, what are the parking requirements?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there was a motion made last month to amend the townhouse zone parking, so it would be 2 parking stalls for a single, in a driveway, not including the garage, and then 2 for a common shared plus visitor parking.
Thank
So
you.
they would have to adhere to that.
Thank you, Warden. Councillor Garden Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am just looking to make an amendment to the motion that if this requires an amendment, that the 300-meter, the letters sent out within 300 meters be extended to 500 meters because the residents from Tyler Street down to Lacey Ann are going to be very impacted by this, and I want to make sure that everyone that's going to be impacted receives one of those letters.
Can that be done without amendment?
Better if it is done through amendment.
Okay. No discussion, we'll vote on the amendment of, from 300 to 500 meters. And the motion is passed unanimously. Any discussions on the motion on the screen? With the amendment? Seeing none, we'll go to the vote. And the motion is passed with a vote of 9-3 with Deputy Warden Dixon, Councillor Rhino, and Councillor Garden Cole voting nay. Thank you, Leanne, for that report. Next item on the agenda is Sam Crescent parking issues. And John, you can begin when you're ready.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is a result of motion C-2605, where council directed that staff prepare a report to outline options to alleviating parking concerns on both Sam Crescent and Tyler Street. And that was prompted by a resident on Sam Crescent writing to the municipality. And a quote from his email is there. Essentially, he's suggesting that, you know, by approving this development, council helped create this problem and should help find a solution. So, and the concern, of course, is that essentially residents do not have enough off-street parking for the number of vehicles that they own, forcing them to park on the street. And as you can see, on both Sam Crescent and Tyler, these are denser developments and we have traditionally seen in East Hants, so hence the issue. In terms of the engineering of the streets themselves, they're fine. They meet our current standard in terms of width and provision for sidewalk and so on. But the issue is really winter maintenance and where do you park when you have to get your car off the street during a snow event. So in terms of options, I couldn't find any good ones, but here are the ones that I found. The first one would be or the first three are basically are within the realm of relaxed enforcement. So the first one would be just recognizing that in certain areas of the municipality, there is not enough off-street parking, and therefore you're going to allow on-street parking even during snow events. I've lived in municipalities that allow this. It's not ideal, I guess, for snow clearing, but kind of a reality, and certainly in larger places. However, it would set a precedent and obviously make winter maintenance much more challenging. And as the director of INO said, allowing overnight parking would mean that clearing these streets during and immediately following a snow event would become nearly impossible, and we would routinely fail to meet our service standard. Another variation would be to only ban parking on one side of the street. And so obviously a situation where, snowplows trying to squeeze between parked cars wouldn't happen, but you would at least be able to get down the street, but you would still have the same issue in terms of clearing curb to curb. One variation on that from this municipality would be you allow people to park on that one side of the street, but then you have to get your car to there by 8 a.m. the next morning. Again, not as ideal or as easy for our folks doing the snow clearing, but, an option that other municipalities have followed. Another variation would be alternate side parking. So some municipalities will, allow you to say park on the north side of the street, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then on other alternate days, you have to park on the south side of the street kind of thing, which again allows snow clearing curb to curb, but not immediately following a snow event. So that would obviously require additional passes of snow clearing equipment down the street. Another option would be to find off-street parking for some of these units. And the municipality actually does own a piece of property at the end of Tyler Street. It was acquired as part of this development and has a stormwater detention pond. There is some land that's not part of the stormwater detention pond, but we haven't really explored yet whether that's something you want to get into, of trying to create a parking lot there. So if you do, we'll obviously go back with INO and discuss what that would mean for their operations. And then beyond that, all the land at the end of Sam and Tyler is owned by Elmsdale Lumber. Again, if that's something council wants to explore, we could talk to that landowner. What I would say in general, though, is that you're now getting into cost of establishing a parking area, the maintenance of it, and then who decides who actually gets one of those spots. Is it just open for any resident to park there, sort of first come, first serve, or do you lease them? Or, there would have to be some sort of thought put into that if you're going to get into that business. And our last option is simply to provide some education to residents as we come up on the snow season every year, to remind vehicle owners to find alternative parking, and if needed, to clear out their garages if they need to actually be used for parking. And now that we have a more robust parking enforcement program, I think that's hitting home more with folks. So the recommended motion is simply to move ahead with that education. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, John. Warden Rolston?
Thank you. Well, unfortunately, that won't solve the problem. The problem being people aren't parking on the street because that's where they want to park. It's because they don't have anywhere else to park. And us educating them that they shouldn't park there or fining them for parking there is not going to help the problem that they don't know where else to go to park. And therein lies the problem. So for me, I had a couple of questions. When we look at Tyler Street there, that's a municipal street?
Yes, both Sam and that
Okay.
end of Tyler are municipal, yeah.
How much, the width of those streets is what?
Not sure off the top of my head. I don't know if Jesse.
Do we own curb to curb, or do we own
Yes.
land, outside?
Oh, yes,
curb to
we
curb?
own, obviously the sidewalk is on municipal land, and then it would go back beyond the street on the side as well.
So is there enough room there to make a separate lane for on-site, parallel parking? It's gonna take away from people's lawns, I understand, but do we own enough land to do something like that?
Through
Go ahead, Jesse.
through Chair, the challenge then becomes is you take away the driveway space. So I couldn't tell you what the width or area is to increase width without pulling up engineering drawings, but
We took away the driveway space with the sidewalk.
uh,
People aren't parking on the sidewalk. Just saying.
just
You know, just something that I just thought might be worth thinking about, I don't know. And if there were some type of off-site parking to be provided, I would assume it would be similar to many places where you rent an apartment or whatever, and you pay for your parking spot if you want it every month. If we were to develop something, and I would suggest that it would be first come, first served by people who live in these, you know, on these streets for however many, and it would be whatever the going rate was a month for that parking space, so that at least, I would hope maybe it could be revenue neutral if we decided to go to that thing, but, I just wonder, I'm looking at the side of the road with the sidewalk on it, and then I'm looking at the other side, and are the apartment buildings built closer to the road than those other buildings? Or does it just look that way?
Yeah, I think it
Or
just,
whatever they are, townhouses.
They're the same on both sides.
They don't look the same. Can we go back to the picture?
They're different designs, but they're the same types
Yeah.
of houses.
Oh, okay. So theoretically, I'm assuming that they're the same distance from the curb on either side of the road. And how wide is the sidewalk?
it's 5 feet, isn't it, Jesse? I think the standard is 5 feet or whatever the metric
no,
equivalent
no.
is.
Through Mr. Chair, that the updated standard, I couldn't validate what that is. It's 1.8 meters is what we're striving for sidewalk walk width. I would flag an additional factor is with these townhome styles, the distance between driveways is so tight. There's not enough room in between a lot of those driveways to park a car. So regardless of whether you widen the road, there's not enough spacing in between driveways to fit a car in a lot of those cases. And that is a topic that's come up predominantly. And it is a motor vehicle infraction as per the MGA to park in front of a driveway and block it regardless of if it's your driveway or not. So it's a cascading list of issues with
And I think going
on-street
forward,
parking.
we have to stop making these mistakes. That's my opinion. We need adequate parking, and so I don't know what the answer is here. I guess for me, I'd have to know how many parking spots could you get at that land that we already own at the end without impacting the stormwater and all that stuff. Thank you.
And through you, Mr. Chair, again, that was an idea that was thrown out there without any investigation at this point in terms of how practical or how many could happen there. So again, I guess we were looking for direction from council first.
Thank you, Warden. Thank you, staff. Councilor Musa?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I don't know what we're trying to do here, but I know there was a lot of mistake being done before with the parking and stuff, and we cannot fix everything. And if we want to go that way and start fixing stuff, there's a lot of stuff that we need to be fixed because we allowed private road without even emergency access. Are we gonna do that? Are we gonna go fix that? Like, when we gonna stop doing that? We have like some resident, they want parking on the road and they want it fixed, and some resident, they complain about parking on the road because it's too dangerous. So I don't know where we're going with that, but I see in the winter, you don't have to, in the summertime, probably parking on the street is okay, but in the wintertime, you have to move your vehicle. I have a rental property, sometimes they run out of the space, they park on the lawn and they fix it later, so there's an option, like, in the wintertime when everything is frozen, you can park on your lawn if you want to make extra effort. But to come and fix everything that was done in the past and we have no, I don't know how we're gonna go with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Rhino?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to staff, what was the parking requirement at the time when those was built?
It was just one, right? Yeah, so the parking requirement at the time was one spot per dwelling unit.
Per dwelling unit?
Yeah, and most of these have two if you count the garage.
All right, okay, so it was one spot per dwelling unit. Were any of those, was that property pre-sold and then built? Or was it built and then the unit sold after the building?
The developer, the developer built the street and then started building the homes and started selling the homes, so.
Okay, so there lies my point. They're blaming it on us, and I say, yeah, well, we might have something to do with the parking, we should have had no more. But this is my way of thinking. If I'm going in to purchase a home or whatever, I'm gonna be looking for those things. I'm gonna know how many vehicles I have. I'm gonna know, is this gonna work for me? You can't, to me, in my mind, you go look at it and you buy it, well, I got 3 vehicles, well, you're gonna have to work something, you're gonna have to get storage or something. To me, this is what I'm looking at. You bought this, that's the same as, to me, this is a sort of example. If the farm's been there for 50 years and you build beside the farm, well, you get what's surrounding the farm. But if you have a home and you build a farm, then there's a difference. And to me, there's a difference here because they bought these. It's not perfect, but they bought this. And, you know, if they have too many vehicles, they're gonna have to make some decisions. That's my thought. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Tingley?
Through the chair. So I think everybody acknowledges it's a challenge to park up there. What we don't know is how many people have an empty garage and are not using the garages to park their car. On a sunny day, these photographs up here, there's lots of vehicles parked on the side of the road. Maybe there's maybe some of those cars should be parked in a garage. I don't know. There is a problem. I think staff has come up with at least the first step here to try to see if we can correct it, to educate people around using their garage to park their cars and store whatever's in there somewhere else type of thing. I don't think we're going to agree or find any other solution right now. So I'm going to make the motion that Planning and Advisory Committee recommends to Council that Council direct staff to provide educational material to residents of Sam Crescent and Tyler Street in the autumn prior to the snow season to remind vehicle owners to find alternative parking and clear out their garages if it is needed for parking.
Move to second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll go to the vote. And the motion is passed unanimously. No, the motion is passed 11-1 with Councilor Garfield voting nay. That concludes Planning Advisory for today. I want to thank our public members, Pam and Sam, for joining us and wish them well for the rest of the week. We're scheduled for an adjournment and break. Motion to adjourn,
What time are we coming back?
and we'll come back at 2:45 to finish off Park Rec and Culture.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody back to our Parks, Recreation and Culture Committee. I think we have one item left, and that would be district recreation funds. And Joe, you'll be taking that, so just flip your. First, Counselor Sandergaard and Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just like to ask that if we could separate the EH Horn from the rest of do it in two separate groups, and then I can recuse myself for that one, on which I am a board member.
All right, doable? All right. I'll put you on. There you go.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. As we have done the last few presentations for DRF, we will, with your agreeance, go through the entire report first, and then we do separate motions, but we can and take your lead there. If there's only the one declared conflict, then we can just separate for the one motion. But my recommendation would be to just do an overview of each project and then ask some general questions and then start at the top and go back through, if that works. We do this twice a year now. Everyone here has seen it by this point. All right, so this year, Council has seen the chart. It's in the table below. We'll just go through it. But there is $885,000. That's a carryover plus the new allocations for this year. There are separate amounts that we can consider as well. There's just under 4,000 remaining in the Old Gore area rate, and Mount Uniacke additional area rate has 244,000 for projects similar to DRF. This year, there were 9 applications, and the requested funds are 160,274, and based on council policy, staff are recommending 150,941 be spent for this first intake and application. So as we have done traditionally, we will prepare the motions in great detail following council or committee today and share them and have a nice chart prepared for the next council meeting. There are your allocations for this year and where the numbers break down. That first column in red, it is simply last year's allocations that have not been finished. It's all the 10% holdbacks on a couple different projects, which are just wrapping up. And with that, we'll get right into the projects. For District 2, we go numerically. So if a district has a project, though we're following along, so nothing for District 1 this year. District 2 has just one project, and it's East Hampton Gymnastics and Trampoline Club. It's their second year operating the club as a not-for-profit, and they're doing a great job, by all means, growing membership. And last year, they got some new safety apparatus to make things smoother. And then this year, although the items, total $16,000, it's all smaller things. So they're getting some mats and things like that to make it safer and more efficient. If they can use smaller, well-placed mats that are designed for the use, then it doesn't, they can move people through more easily. They also want to maintain a safer and cleaner gym. You can see all the reports are laid out the same way. So the total project cost after the description, then we put in what the group has asked for. We confirm that the status is complete, and then we go through what the allocation would be based on the district recreation fund policy. And so that would be the $8,003 that they're asking. They are looking for funding from Sport Fund, and that application will be processed April, May. And you can see that other groups, other districts have supported their projects in the past, and they have membership from across the municipality. The next project is in District 3, and it's the 9 Mile River Trails. This year, they are going back, instead of expanding new trails, they're updating and preventing too much wear and tear on an older trail. So when trails get really beat up, what happens is people start going around the trail, and then it becomes a bit of an environmental disaster as the trail gets to be 3 and 4 and 5 meters wide in places while they're trying to find the worst place or the best place to walk. So what they're trying to do is remove some exposed rocks and roots. They're going to work with a trail contractor and get the Hemlock Cathedral Trail updated this year. Their project is just over 27,000. They're asking for 50%, which matches policy, and the funding is available in District 3 for that project. Next, we have District 6, and in District 6, we have Milford Recreation Association. They are looking for a substantial kitchen upgrade, but again, in a lot of small pieces. So they're looking for ways to improve and enhance the way the kitchen functions, but also to confirm that they can receive a commercial kitchen. So they can have businesses, independent contractors use that kitchen, caterers can use that kitchen. So once they have that, it will increase some rental opportunities, especially they've had some interest from like daytime users and local vendors who would want to use the kitchen, which would be a really great source of additional revenue to help their facility grounds and on other assets. They are seeking provincial funding, but at the time of application, they were hoping to use Community Recreation Capital Grant, which has actually been cut. So that group, we would work with them on where else they could receive funding, but there is not much on the provincial level for smaller projects as of last week. I have not heard yet what the communication is between the province and Milford Recreation Association, but I do plan to be looped in there. Mount Uniacke, District 8, normally in partnership with District 9. There are 3 projects here. And the first is Mount Uniacke Mustangs. This is the Softball Association. They are looking for a new mower to add to to make their other one last a lot longer. They can get out there and do 2 projects at the same time. They mow around the field and the fields and help the Legion a little bit as well. They are asking for a little more, or they're asking for more than half, as this project doesn't qualify for any other source of funding, and it would require fundraising from the association in order to make that happen. The Legion, Uniacke and District, Legion Branch 165, is applying for new bingo equipment. Their old equipment is not going to last much longer. They host a well-received, well-attended bingo game weekly in the community, but they also host bingo for many community events. It's often used at fundraisers, school socials, etc. So they are looking for 20% of their, or $20,000 of their $32,000 bingo equipment purchase. And the final one in Uniacke is their, the Uniacke District Home and School Association is starting a playground project. Their first phase is an inclusive standalone playground component, as well as an inclusive swing, which would just be added to the current swing base. And they're adding an accessible pathway. They're not using asphalt because there may be other changes to the playground and the layout and the schoolyard. So they want to use crusher dust in the beginning just to connect the play space. They're asking for $22,500 towards their $90,000 project. They are applying for Provincial Recreation Facilities Capital Grant. This program has been cut, but some amount, maybe a quarter, 25% reduction for the province, but they will definitely be, the application's already in and it's being reviewed now for some provincial funding. And the DRF policy states that CCRCE properties qualify for a maximum of 33% of a project. In past years, District 9 has supported the Uniacke District Home and School. They have done 3 or 4 DRF projects over the years, inside and out. And then we're moving on to District 10. There are two projects here. E.H. Horn School Preservation is continuing their brickwork project that they have received DRF for the last couple of years. This year, they're also doing the exterior chimneys, which might sound familiar because that was part of their application last year, but it had to be bumped and they overhauled their project when it was too complicated with the additional scaffolding. So they have done better project planning. They're ready for this year. And their project is close to $60,000 and they're seeking 21,536 from DRF, which fits policy. And Shubenacadie Canal Commission is also seeking DRF this year. They have a substantial project going on their marshland boardwalk. They had serious issues after the flood in 2023. They used funding from a couple different sources in the last 2 years and were able to get the first half, the Woodland Boardwalk, reconstructed. They had very detailed assessment plans and they used the planning grant programs to kind of get a really good picture of what they could do for climate resistant planning. And they have that coming forward with this new Marshland Boardwalk project. They are seeking funding from us, from council, for $30,000, which although is well under the half of the project cost, DRF policy states that a district can't fund more than half of the funding available in that district. So for that reason, staff recommend 27,628 for DRF for Lock 6, with the shortfall being just under 3,000. This organization has used DRF in the past, and those years District 1 did contribute. They are seeking funding from provincial trails funding as well as ACOA. Both those applications are in process and the district trails money has not been cut from that particular program. So it's not, but with a larger project, there is always a chance that the other funding sources don't come through. I don't think I mentioned it at the very beginning, and I normally do, that any funding approved through DRF would not be released until proof of external funding and viability of the project. And that takes us to District 11, and their project is also a home and school association, and it is also a playground upgrade, and it is also an accessible component, the universal carousel and an access path from the school to the playground. And they too hope that this is just phase one of a secondary project. They are undertaking an $82,000 project, and they are asking for 1/3 of that cost as per policy. And they are using the Provincial Recreation Facilities Grant, as I spoke about before, which is still a viable option. I mentioned, as before, 33% of a project cost. Their Joint Stocks is not confirmed yet. They're a new organization and they have been working with Joint Stocks. I've seen their bylaws and their name is confirmed. So we're certainly well underway, but that would be another check mark before any funding was released. And I do make a note there that part of District 3 has students that do attend this school, and it would be the nearest playground for some of those students. And then that takes us to our final summary. So what we have in this table shows how much they've asked for, what's available in that district, and then the recommendation based on policy. As with any of them, any time we come, council can work together with other districts. You can fund to the recommendation or not. And if there's any questions, I think we would start there and then can go back to the top and do it project by project. Chair, if that works for you.
I think we should, by project, we'll go back to the top. So that would be,
East Hants Gymnastics Trampoline, District 2.
District 2. All right, you've heard the report. Is anybody prepared to discuss it? Councillor Hibb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There is a number of people from my district that work for this group and work with them, and I would like to contribute $2,000 to their cause.
Just to clarify, before we go too far, would that be above the recommended 8,000, or is that to supplement District 2's funding?
Above what they're allocated from that district.
Thank you.
Councillor Sandra Garden Cole.
Yes, a lot of my residents use that as well. It's so successful. I would like to allocate $2,000 above the recommended $8,003 as well.
And I take it you're taking quick notes on these, please? Is that all? Councillor Norval Mitchell.
I just want to let the committee know that I've spoken with this group and I'm very pleased that they're coming forward, looking to make things safer for their patrons, and I approve the $8,003 going forward from District 2.
Deputy Warden Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As well, I'm going to support this group over and above for $1,000 from District 10.
Gil. Councillor Miriam.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. From District 6, $1,000 over and above. Thank you.
Councillor Tingley.
Through the chair, how much do you need for this group now?
We would be that, through the chair, we're sitting on 6,000 above the extra, so we're about 2,000 away from funding, but they are applying for Sport Fund as well, so additional funding, they're probably seeking 2,500 to 3,000 from Sport Fund. So additional funding would be pending a failed application at Sport Fund.
2,000 is
Two thousand and three.
$2,000 would give you full project covered.
Right.
Completely without external funding. So you're at $14,003 and their entire project was $16,006.
Okay. I'll agree to $1,000.
Okay, so they have a shortfall of one. Okay. Anything for Councillor Sandra Garden Cole?
Can you just remind us, Joe, how many children are in that program?
Their membership would be between 400 and 500.
Yeah,
A lot
really.
of times, they might be accommodating 400 at this time, but there'll be a different batch that come in the summer. They do some more recreational day camp programs, so across all the different programs, they're seeing over 500
I
participants
just
a
wanted
year.
everyone to know how many kids from the area are participating in that. Thank you.
All right. Seeing nobody left to speak, we'll move on to the next one. And that being
9 Mile River
9 Mile
Trails.
River Belknap, 9 Mile River Trails. Councillor McPhee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, I know a lot of people from District 4 use those trails, so I'll contribute 2,000 above and beyond funds 13,680.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Norval Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's a worthwhile trail to walk on. I've been on it, and I know a lot of my residents go up there on nice days like today. So above and beyond what's there so far, District 2 will contribute $2,000 towards the project.
Thank you. Councillor Deputy Warden Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I, as well as a lot of people use the trail, and I have two large expenses coming up later, so I'm going to be able to donate 1,000 from District 10.
Thank you. Councillor Walter Tingley.
2,500 over and above.
Thank you. Councillor Miriam.
Thank you. District 6, $1,000 over and above. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Sandra Garden.
I'm going to, District 1 will contribute $2,000.
Do we have a quick total on that?
950 above and beyond.
Just so everybody's information.
Through the chair, so far it's $24,180 in contributions, and the policy request was $13,680.
Okay, thank you. Oh, we got one more, Counselor, Head. Counselor Head?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That only leaves roughly about $3,000, I think, or 3 or 4, I think, for the total project.
No, they were above and beyond.
Yeah, 3180 would be the project shortfall.
3180. I don't
To
see
get
that
to the
here.
27,000.
So what are we at now?
So, yeah, we have through the chair, we have a spreadsheet that as we're adding things, it gives us the total project shortfall, not just the policy request. So total project, if it was fully funded, total project shortfall right now is $3,180 based on what every counselor has contributed.
$3,100.
$3,180.
But the,
To get to the 27,360.
You need to get to
But
27,360.
that's confirming 13,680 coming from District 3 as recommended.
Yes.
Yes.
And I would like to put the rest in to top it off the rest so that it'd be fully funded.
Okay, so it's
So
all fully funded.
What's that amount, 31?
Right. Seeing nothing further on that, we'll move to District 6, North Lance, Milford, the Milford Recreation Association.
all right, sorry. So there we go. The Milford Rec is up here. They're asking, their project is just under 18 and they're seeking 8692.
Counselor Norval Mitchell.
My residents like going up there for things they put on, whether it's an art show or whatever, so above and beyond the fund, District 2 will contribute $2,000 towards their project.
Thank you. Counselor Hibb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A lot of my residents in my area certainly do participate in that, and hearing that they're probably not going to receive any extra funding, I'll contribute $5,000 to that project.
Thank you, Counselor Hibb. Counselor Walter Tingley.
To staff, what are we up to there now?
15,692, the request. So the shortfall is so far for total project funding, the shortfall is 7,233.
I'll contribute 3,000 towards that project.
Thank you, Counselor. Anyone else? All right, seeing no one else, we'll consider that done. Could we give a quick report on that one there now?
So this one has,
They're overfunded by $300.
yeah,
They're
Sorry,
overfunded?
Sorry, overfunded by 767
That's
with the 3,000.
not, Counselor Tingley, would you consider reducing yours?
You can twist my arm, I guess so, yeah.
So do we just want to take the 767 off?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be, whatever the project cost is, that will be even it out, correct?
yeah.
All right. Moving on. District 8, Mount Uniac South Rawdon, Mount Uniac Mustangs Fastball Association. Total project cost is $10,533. Requested from DR8 is $8,533, so they seem to be $2,000 short, correct?
Yes, and I had been speaking with Councillor Perry, and he had expressed his wishes and had spoken with Councillor Musa as well about funding these projects. So I don't know if I don't want to speak for Councillor Musa.
I think we better let Councillor Musa. I'll go to Councillor Musa.
Myself and Councillor Perry have talked about it, and we're gonna support the whole project, $10,533 split between the two districts.
Okay, so that project is fully funded from both Mount Uniacs, correct? Thank you, Councillor Musa, and I seeing no one left to speak. We will go to the next one, which is Uniac and District Legion Branch 165. Total project cost is $32,650. DR F policy allotment is 16,352, so that, rounded off, that's around $16,000 shortfall. What is your request? What is your wish? Musa, you're still on, so I'll,
The same for this ask, we'll do 20,000 split between District 8 and District 9, equal.
okay,
You're gonna split the 20,000.
okay, the request for district recreation funds is 20, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And there, you're gonna split the 20 here and then leave it at that? Okay,
They have bingo reserve for the other portion, so
pardon me?
the group has a bingo reserve for the other
Okay.
portion, so.
Very good.
Yikes.
So everybody fine with that? Seeing none left to speak, we'll move it on. Uniac District Home and School, total project cost is 90,000 to round it off. District recreation funds by policy is 22.5. What is your wish, Councilor Musa, on that one?
22,500 split between the two districts equally.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's free and clear?
Totally.
Okay,
And then we should just skip E.H. Horn and do the next two on this motion, and then we can,
Shubenacadie Canal Commission, Lock 6 Park, total project 136,000 rounded off. District recreation funds 30,000 by policy. What is your wish? Councilor Cecil, or Deputy Warden Dixon, excuse me.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chair. I know we're getting some support on this, so we're gonna reduce our DRF funds to 20,000.
20,000 from District 10.
Yes.
So it's 20,000 from
From District 10
above and beyond or split?
No,
Contributing towards the project.
towards the project.
they're not giving 30,000, he's only giving.
The request was 30,000. We're gonna do 20,000 of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councilor Cardin Cole,
District 1 would like to contribute 5,000 to that project.
so just for my own and everyone else's information, so what will the funding be on that, please? Can staff give a report?
At this time, that's 20,000 from District 10 and 5 from District 1 for 25,000.
For 25,000. All right. Is everybody, Councilor Tingley?
We'll contribute 5,000 to that as well.
Anything further? Councilor Norval Mitchell.
I was gonna contribute, but they're at, budget, so would Councilor Ting like to split that 5,000, 2,500 each?
Councilor Tingley, I'll give you an answer on that. I feel like an auctioneer up here.
It's okay,
Yes, I'm agreeable to that.
Okay, so it's agreed that you two will split that.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Anything further? So we're still at the 25, correct, for
That
that?
takes us up to 30 for
That
that
takes us
project,
up
which
to
is
30.
their request.
Okay. All right,
And then Rawdon.
now, hold it, I just went by that now a minute ago. District 11, Rawdon Kinnicook, Rawdon District School, total project costs approximately 82, and that will be, and the project cost, how come I'm going the wrong way here? DRF funds is at 27,310. Counselor Hibb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This project is certainly going to impact a lot of the residents in my district, so I'll contribute 5,000 towards that, above and
Above,
beyond.
No,
above,
it can't be above and beyond. It's a school board project.
So just be,
Yeah,
oh,
we can't fund over a
you
third
can't
of it.
afford to fund over a third. Okay. So, out of that, then am I correct in thinking this DRF application is 27,310? You would be wishing to fund 5,000 of that? of that portion?
So right now, the 27,310 is coming from that district. Oh, that kind of puts a hammer onto it. I'll drop that to 2,000.
2,000? Okay. So we're clear on that? Okay, from
So-
what my thing is on it, 27,310, 2,000 of that would be coming from Councillor Hibbs' district and the remainder from Councillor, or Warden Rolson's district. Now, am I correct in that, Nat? Are you good with that, Councillor Mitchell?
Okay, I understand.
Okay. Anything, Councillor Musa?
Just a question. The resident from South Rawdon, they go to that school or to Mount Uniacke School?
No, the South Rawdon children go to UDS, UNIAC.
Okay, so, okay, thank you.
And I think we're all tidied up on that one. There's nothing further. And other than, we'll have to go back to,
The EH Horn, did we, so typically we put through this
okay,
as a
I'm
motion.
gonna hold you up right there, ma'am. Councillor Garden Cole.
Oh, I just want to recuse myself because I'm a board member on EH Horn.
Okay, so you'll have to sign the book and then sit in the gallery, please. Councillor Cecil Dixon.
It's on the EH Horn. Do you want to present it first or
Pardon?
do you want?
EH Horn, the total project cost is 58.5, we'll round, and I'm rounding. The requested DRF funds is 21.5, that's rounded. So it's up to the committee what they want to do.
I again am gonna change the DFR funds to 20,000.
So the requested will be moved from 21 to 20, is that correct?
The request was 30,000 and I'm gonna reduce it to 20,000.
No, the request is 21,536.
21.
Sorry, I got the wrong one here.
We have two projects for your district.
I'm gonna round it off to 20,000. Sorry about that.
So instead of the DRF funds requested, you want it rounded down to 20,000, correct? All right.
Policy allocation is 20,000.
Councillor Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of District One, I would like to allocate $10,000 to EH Horn sizable project from
Now.
District One.
For clarification, is that above and beyond the 20,000, or is that to make up part of that 20,000?
It's above and beyond.
Above and beyond. Good. All right. Councillor Eldon Hibb. Sorry, Councillor Hibb, there you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. District C will contribute 1,000 towards that project above.
Thank you. Councillor Mayor. Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. From District 6, 1,000 above. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Tingley,
Mr. Chair, 2,500 above.
2,500 above?
Yep.
Thank you. Again, Councillor Mitchell,
District Two, 2,000 above.
could we have a recap on that, please?
So through the chair, as of right now, with all of the
Kim?
contributions, it looks like the group would be getting 36,500, which is actually 14,964 over their request.
Yes, still remaining, so that's,
But less than their project cost, right, correct? All right. So that is it, other than we have to move a motion with regard to them all, if we, do we have some kind of a motion that's right there that we could,
so the motion is on the top. Here, we say that we're going to move the recommended motion based on the discussion, and then we prepare that more detailed motion.
It'll be a two.
It has to
And
be
it should be
split to
two motions.
motions.
It will be absolutely two motions, yes.
So,
Has to be two
so,
motions here too.
so we'll have to deal with, to leave, instead of going back and forth, we'll deal with the E.H. Horn one first. Then that way, Councillor Garden Cole can, come back in and have a vote on the other ones. So, with regard to, E.H. Horn District Irrigation Fund, what is your wish? Councillor Mitchell.
My question wasn't dealing with that, I was looking for a final total for District Two, if that's available today. My contributions and for each district.
Forgive me, I didn't
Through the
do
chair,
that.
through the chair for District Two, a total of $16,503, so it was contributed today to various projects.
Okay, thank you.
That it?
That's it, thank you.
Councillor Rusa.
Just a question through you, Mr. Chair. So with the councillor of the area being in conflict, can council make a decision? Because in any instance, like, the district will contribute to that. But since the councillor of the area is not present, can council make a motion to
Yes, they can.
approve the rest? Like,
Yeah.
can I make a motion? Or we don't? The full DRF, like with the rest coming from?
That's all been worked out in one. When we had the discussion, there was agreement. Some of the money is coming from that district on Councillor Mitchell's report.
Okay, okay. No, I was just wondering if council as a whole can make a decision. Okay, thank you.
Yes, it can. All right, what is your wish, Executive Council? Parks, Recreation, and Culture? There we go. Councillor Hibb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
This is with the H1.
So that would be a separate motion, or that motion
Yeah, that's a separate motion.
is it written somewhere?
If it's the same motion that's on the
Same
screen
motion.
referencing E.H. Horn.
And
Okay.
referencing EH1.
Move the Parks and Recreation Culture Committee recommend the council approve district recreation funding 26-27 intake based on discussion of committee on the E.H. Horn project.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comment or question? Seeing none, we'll go to the vote. So we have 9 now, so yeah. So the vote is in and it's passed unanimously with all those present. All right. With regard to the remainder of the district recreation funds, what is your wish? Warden? Did I get you?
I move that Parks, Recreation, and Culture Committee recommend that council approve district recreation funding 2026, 2027, intake 1, based on discussion at committee for all remaining projects except the EH that have not already been dealt with.
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any comment or questions with regard to the motion? All right, we'll go to the vote. Nine, so we should be 10. Oh, there we go. All right, the motion is passing unanimously. And I don't see anything further in the Parks, Recreation, and Culture Committee. Oh, sorry, Mr. Hibb. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just like to make a comment that this shows how good we as councilors work together. And we all recognize the projects of each one of our districts and how important they are to this council. And it's great to see all us councilors work together for this. Thank you.
Very good. I thank you for that. We don't always agree, but when we come together, a lot of the time, so. It's great. All right, seeing anything further before I adjourn, and I think we're adjourning to policy of council, correct? All right, seeing nothing else, I adjourn the Parks, Recreation, Culture Committee and the Executive Committee to return